Hello and welcome to the SoulSurvivor Q&A series. The following is part of a channeled question and answer session with the high-level spiritual group consciousness, Eternal Light. Thanks for listening.
What is the battle between light and dark?
The battle between light and dark has, in physical, earthly terms, gone on from the beginning of the world when man arrived. Man evolved over thousands of years, and man has now got to this stage where he is in charge of the earth for good and for bad. We do not use these words lightly, for definition of those words is a very lengthy subject. But you ask about the light and the dark. Light is the spiritual light that comes with you as you enter the world. But the darkness, that you have to go back into your history to a very early time where a species other than yourselves came onto the planet Earth, and they came searching for a world that was to their liking, where they could survive, where they could grow, where they could rule, and where it had the resources that they could use to their advantage for their species. And when they arrived, they found man, and they realized very quickly that they could use this species, man. They could use it to further the world that they wanted for themselves. And so, with their vast abilities, they were able to connect to your, as you now know it, DNA, and they were able to correct it to the way they wanted the human to behave. And much like your new manufacturers, your new entrepreneurs who are using robotics, they wish the robotics to do what man wants. And so now man is producing its own species for its own advantage. But back in the distant past, where the Anunnaki arrived on Earth, they quickly adopted man, and they tweaked their thought patterns so that they would serve the Anunnaki. And they did this for thousands upon thousands of years, and man did their bidding. The reason it is referred to as dark is because they have interfered with the species, and they have changed how man would have been, how they would have evolved. And it comes very much to understanding now that they suppressed what was divinely man's right. They suppressed the fact that man did not understand that they had free will. And this was a very cunning activity that was easily performed by them. So man became the servant of the Anunnaki, and man did what they wanted done. And so they became the supreme being on your earth. They have technology back then that was far in advance of man, who was in the early stages of evolution. And so their power was far greater. and they have ruled the earth throughout this time. But you will be saying, well, who are they? Why can't we see them? But they are far in advance. They can cloak their true identity and take on the appearance of man. And so it is with great difficulty that you would ever be able to see them. But for those who are spiritually advanced, they will be aware of who they are. They will know when they come across them. But they have taken resources and invented control of mankind throughout the ages. But now the tables are turning. There is much light on earth coming from you, humanity, from those who are spiritually aware and are sending light out. And to those souls, you would generally call them light workers, for they are spreading light. And where they spread love, they spread light, for the two go together. Love is light. For the dark now, they are sensing the pressure, for man is taking on and understanding more and more about the love that holds the light and how it can be spread throughout to mankind across your globe. Many meditations with thousands of people create so much light force and love that they can stop the dark activities and paralyze them for a while. Many of you know how effective light and love is. And so the battle between dark and light is becoming more on an even keel, shall we say. You are no longer feeling that you are unable to exercise your free will. And we say that with responsibility, for free will is not just wreaking havoc on your world and on other innocent souls, but free will is allowing you to light up your world with love and light. And the old saying, where there is light, there can be no dark, is taking on real importance. For you now are understanding the power of your goodness, your love for life and for others, and your love for your planet. And this is banishing much of the dark and making it harder for them to hide and harder for them to do the works that allow them to retain their position of power. Keep sending love and light, and the battle for more light on earth, for more goodness, will keep increasing.